For years, classic film fans remembered Margaret Sheridan as one of the most striking actresses of Hollywood's golden era, admired for her beauty, elegance, and unforgettable role in The Thing from Another World. On screen, Sheridan seemed destined for lasting stardom, carrying the kind of glamorous presence studios desperately searched for during the 1950s. Yet behind the cameras and glowing publicity photos was a deeply complicated life that remained hidden from the public for decades. As more details surfaced after her death, fans slowly realized that Sheridan had been living what many described as a double life, balancing the image of a confident Hollywood actress while privately enduring heartbreak, disappointment, and emotional isolation that few people ever understood. Born Clara Lou Sheridan in Texas, she entered the entertainment industry with enormous dreams and quickly attracted attention because of her natural charm and stunning appearance. Hollywood executives believed she could become one of the next major female stars, and for a brief moment it appeared that future was within reach. Publicly, Sheridan was presented as glamorous, sophisticated, and full of confidence, but privately she reportedly struggled with the intense pressure that came with trying to survive in one of the harshest entertainment industries in the world. Friends later described her as sensitive and emotionally vulnerable, often deeply affected by criticism and rejection despite appearing calm and polished in public. While fans imagined a life filled with luxury and excitement, the reality behind closed doors was far more painful. One of the biggest tragedies in Sheridan's life involved her troubled relationship with Hollywood power structures. According to film historians and reports that emerged years later, disagreements with influential industry figures damaged her opportunities at a critical point in her career. Some claimed she was unfairly pushed aside after refusing to conform to certain expectations within the studio system, effectively ending the momentum she had worked so hard to build. As new actresses arrived and Hollywood rapidly changed, Sheridan reportedly found herself struggling to secure meaningful roles, forcing her to watch the dream she once carried slowly disappear. That painful professional decline deeply affected her emotionally because acting was not simply a job to her. It represented hope, identity, and escape from an ordinary life. Fans never fully realized how devastating those disappointments became for her personally. Behind the glamorous image, Sheridan was said to be battling loneliness and growing frustration as opportunities faded. Another heartbreaking detail that later surfaced involved how isolated she became during parts of her later life. While audiences still remembered her beauty and classic performances, Sheridan reportedly lived far removed from the glamorous world people assumed surrounded former Hollywood stars. Some accounts suggested she faced financial struggles and emotional hardships that sharply contrasted with the elegant image preserved in old films and publicity stills. That gap between public fantasy and private reality became one of the saddest elements of her story. People who revisited her work decades later often expressed shock learning how difficult her real life had become after her brief period of fame ended. In many ways, her double life was not built on scandal or crime, but on the painful separation between the actress the world celebrated and the lonely woman quietly carrying disappointment behind the scenes. As more stories emerged after her death in 1986, many film lovers began seeing Sheridan as a symbol of countless forgotten Hollywood performers who were celebrated briefly before being abandoned by the industry once youth and popularity faded. Her story highlighted the emotional cost of fame during an era when studios controlled stars completely while often ignoring their personal struggles. Despite everything she endured, Sheridan's performances continued captivating audiences long after her career faded, especially among fans of classic cinema who admired her unique screen presence and emotional depth. For many people, the tragedy surrounding Margaret Sheridan is beyond heartbreaking because it reveals how someone who once appeared to have everything, beauty, fame, and opportunity, could spend years quietly struggling in ways almost nobody recognized. Today, her story serves as both a tribute to her talent and a painful reminder that behind Hollywood glamour there are often hidden lives filled with loneliness, sacrifice, and heartbreak that remain invisible until long after the spotlight disappears.